from the TFL, here to read you some stories and sing some songs. This book is called Never Follow a Dinosaur by Alex Latimer. Let's see what happens in this story. One afternoon, Joe and his sister Sally spotted a strange set of footprints. "Who do you think made these?" asked Sally. Joe took a closer look. Given the size and shape, I think they must certainly have been made by a dinosaur. They followed the footprints to Willoughby's bowl. It was empty. "It must be a very hungry dinosaur," said Sally. "It has eaten all of Willoughby's food." They followed the footprints into the yard. "Look how deep they are," said Joe. "It must be a very hungry, heavy dinosaur to have made such deep footprints." They followed the footprints right through Dad's fish pond. "It seems to like water," said Sally. "So it's a hungry, heavy, swimming dinosaur." A little further on, the footprints became all squiggly and overlapping. "What happened here?" asked Joe. "Probably some sort of dance," said Sally. "I'd say it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur." "What are all these leaves doing on the ground?" asked Sally. "The dinosaur must have bumped its head on a branch," said Joe. "So it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache." "And look," said Sally, "now there are only left foot footprints." "He must have kicked his left foot on the rock and hopped around in pain," said Joe. "So it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot." And then a little further along, the footprints stopped altogether. Sally and Joe looked around for the hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot, but it was nowhere to be seen. They trudged home thinking all sorts of explanations, but they didn't think it had been hit by a meteorite, or magicked away by a magician, or taken by aliens. It was a real mystery. "You should never follow a dinosaur," said Mom when they got home, "especially not a hungry one." "And it probably wasn't a dinosaur at all," added Dad, "because they are extinct." But Sally and Joe were convinced it was a dinosaur, and they were going to prove it. "I know," said Sally. "Let's build a trap and catch it." So they spent all afternoon drawing and planning and building the perfect dinosaur trap. They had food and music for dancing and a bath for swimming and a bat to bump its head. That was their dinosaur trap. When they were done, they set the cat food in place and left everything out overnight. The next morning, Sally and Joe ran out into the yard to check their trap. The bait was gone, and there were footprints leading right to the edge of the pit. But when they looked into the hole, there was no dinosaur. "How did it escape?" wondered Joe. "It's not as though it could fly." "But what if it can?" shouted Sally. "What if it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot and wings?" Sally and Joe looked up to the sky, and there flying above them was the dinosaur. It looked very hungry indeed. "Uh-oh," said Joe. "Run," yelled Sally. But in no time the dinosaur had scooped them up off the ground. Burp. So you see, the reason you should never follow a dinosaur is that some dinosaurs are just plain hungry. However, luckily for Sally and Joe, once this hungry, heavy, flying dinosaur had soothed its headache, put a bandage on its sore foot, finished its dance, and had a refreshing swim, all it needed was some help baking cookies. So Sally and Joe helped the dinosaur make and eat lots of delicious goodies. Yum! So let's see if we're going to sing a song now. Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Put your elbows in front, put your elbows in the back, put your elbows to the side and quack, quack, quack. That was fun. Okay, I'm going to read you another story now called Be Glad Your Dad is Not an Octopus. Let's see. Most of the time, you're glad your dad is your dad. Like when he's telling funny stories and singing silly songs or letting you jump on the bed. But you're probably not glad your dad is your dad when he's grouchy, bossy, or just totally gross. And sometimes you wish your dad was anything but him. But be careful what you wish for, because it could be way worse. Be glad your dad is not a dog, because he would lick your face to say hello. Be glad your dad is not an owl, because he would keep you up all night. Be glad your dad is not an iguana, because he would puff up and hiss at you when he was grumpy. Be glad your dad is not a skunk, because he would make you so stinky when you surprised him. Be careful your dad is not a tortoise, because everything would take forever. Be glad your dad is not a peacock, because he would think that he was so much prettier than you. No, you're not. Be glad your dad is not a snake, because he would shed his skin in front of your friends. Be glad your dad is not an alligator, because he would have tons of extremely sharp teeth and probably really bad breath. Be glad your dad is not a bee, because he would always be buzzing. That would sure be annoying. Be glad your dad is not a bung beetle, because he would pile poop in your room. Seriously, that would be really gross. Be glad your dad is not a whale, because you couldn't take him anywhere. Be glad your dad is not a dinosaur, because today he would be nothing but bones. Be glad your dad is not a monkey, because he would make you eat bugs and they might get stuck in your teeth. Be glad your dad is not an octopus, because he would always win at tag. Be glad your dad is not a unicorn, because no one would believe you. Be glad your dad is not a quail, because he would be so boring. So, you should be glad your dad is your dad, because he will probably do any of these crazy things, like pile poop in your room. And he will always love you more than anything in the whole wide world, even if he is kind of annoying. That was so funny. I love that. Can you imagine your dad putting poop in your room? That's just so funny. Okay, I'm going to read you one more story about the 3 billy goats Gruff. I bet you some of you know this story. Here we go. High in the mountains, there lived 3 billy goats. They were called Baby Gruff, Middle Gruff, and Big Gruff. All winter long an icy wind blew, and the billy goats ate only dry thistles and scraggly thorny bushes. When at last the snow melted, they set off for the valley below. Down the mountain they trotted, trip-trap, to the stone bridge. There, on the other side of the river, was the freshest, greenest grass they had ever seen. Look at that yummy grass. Can I go first? Can I please? I'm so hungry I could eat the whole field. And so the billy goats lined up to cross the bridge. First Baby Gruff, then Middle Gruff, and then Big Gruff. But under the bridge, hiding in the shadows, was a big, ugly troll. He had a terribly warty face and horrible pointy ears, and he had awful stinky breath. And he liked to eat anyone who crossed his bridge. So when Baby Gruff skiffed across the bridge with a trip-trap, the troll sprang up from below, snarling and slobbering. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" "It's me," Baby Goat squealed, "the littlest billy goat. I'm going to the meadow to nibble all the flowers." "Oh, no, you're not," roared the troll. "This is my bridge, and I'm going to eat you up for breakfast with some freshly buttered toast." Baby Gruff trembled. "Please don't eat me," he squeaked. "I'm so little, you wouldn't even taste me. Wait for my older brother, Middle Gruff. He's bigger and much tastier." The troll licked his lips. "Bigger? Tastier?" he cried. "Then I'm going to eat him instead. Now be gone with you." And so Baby Gruff scurried over the bridge. Trip-trap, trip-trap. "Silly old troll," he giggled. Soon after, Middle Gruff clattered across the old stone bridge. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap. The troll leaped up once more, growling. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" "It's me," said Middle Gruff, "the next billy goat. I'm going to the meadow to eat all the grass." "Oh, no, you're not," roared the troll. "I'm going to gobble you up for breakfast with a nice glass of milk." "Don't be silly," cried Middle Gruff. "I'm so bony, I'd make your teeth fall out. Wait for my older brother, Big Gruff. He's fatter and much yummier." The troll started to drool. "Fatter? Yummier?" he shouted. "Then I'll eat him instead. Now be gone with you." And so Middle Gruff trotted across the bridge. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap. "Silly old troll," he snickered. Finally, Big Gruff thundered up the bridge. Trip, trap, trump. "Rah!" roared the troll. "Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" He was very, very hungry by now. Big Gruff stomped his hooves. "It's me," he grunted, "the biggest billy goat." The troll's tummy was rumbling and grumbling. Up he jumped, bellowing, "Here I come to gobble you up." "No," said Big Gruff, pointing his big, strong horns right at the troll. "Here I come." And he knocked the troll right into the rushing river. Splash! Arr! howled the troll as the river swept him far away. And so Big Gruff thudded over the bridge to join his brothers in the meadow. Trip, trap, trump. "Silly old troll," he chuckled. All summer long, the three billy goats Gruff crunched and munched the delicious green grass until they could eat no more, and they never ever saw that silly old troll again. What'd you think of that story? That was pretty fun. Here, let's do one more song, okay? How about we do The Wheels on the Bus? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Round and round, the wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all through the town. The babies on the bus go where, 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 where. The babies on the bus go where, 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 all through the town. The mummies on the bus go shh, 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 shh. The mummies on the bus go shh, 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 all through the town. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. I'm going to read you one more story, and this one is called I'll Hug You More. Rise and shine, it's time to start our day with an I love you and a big hug to get on your way. I'll hug you and tickle your toes and spin you in the air. I'll hug you as we read a book up on our comfy chair. I'll hug you and I'll buckle you up before we go for a ride. I'll hug you after we come in from playing with friends outside. I'll hug you and dry you off when you're done swimming like a fish. I'll hug you as we gaze at the shining stars, and together we make a wish. I'll hug you as we're swinging together in the old oak tree, and I'll hug you on a stormy night and keep you safe with me. When our day is done and it's time to say good night, I'll wrap my arms around you and hug you real tight. I'll softly whisper, I love you, and hear you say, I love you more. And when the new day starts again, I won't just hug you one more time. Tomorrow I'll hug you more. I'll hug you more and more and more. I'll hug you more and more. And when the new day starts again, this I know for sure, I just won't hug you one more time. Tomorrow I'll hug you more. Now that our day is done and it's time to say goodnight, I tell you I love you more before you turn out my light. I'll hug you when it's time for bed with a stretch and a great big yawn. I'll hug you when I'm done with my bath and have my pajamas on. I'll hug you when I get home from school and share about my day. I'll hug you after we sit in color on the floor and play. I'll hug you around your leg because that's as high as I can reach. I'll hug you after a yummy snack, maybe a giant peach. I'll hug you to say thank you for getting my breakfast ready. I'll hug you and snuggle with you and my favorite teddy. Rise and shine, it's time to start our day with an I love you and a big hug. We're off and on our way. I love you. Okay, for now, I'll see you next time. Bye.